All right, join me right now on Kumite TV is undefeated bantamweight prospect Mo Miller. Mo, I see the shirt. Mo Show. What's going on?
What's up, man? Just hanging out. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, you got the Contender Series opportunity coming up. How long have you known about this opportunity, and what was your reaction when you first heard the news?
I probably heard about it June, June-ish. I probably knew about it that long. Uh, I was excited, just like anybody else would be. I had the opportunity to be on the Ultimate Fighter, but I got Corona, so I couldn't go. So this is another chance to make my dreams come true.
No doubt, man. Talk about the contracting COVID. Did it affect you like it affected a lot of other people?
Uh, I definitely felt it,
Mhm.
but I was literally 2 days away from flying out to Vegas to compete on that, and I still felt like I could fight, if that makes sense. But I definitely felt a little different.
You skipped out on the Ultimate Fighter. Was that something that you were really looking forward to, having the cameras on you all the time? Like this.
Kinda. I wanted to. I thought it would be a good experience, just to do it,
Mhm.
and just to get picked. But I think Contenders is more up my alley, if you know what I mean. Not just one fight and get in, not necessarily a tournament, but I think being on TV and everything would have been cool.
The last time we saw you in action was in December, so that's a pretty decent break. Did you sit back and kind of wait to see what opportunities were going to come, or was there a reason why you sat out?
Well, December. So I was uh, I was planning on not sitting out long, and then I heard about the tough opportunity, so I kind of had to wait to see if I can get on that. And and that was April. I kind of found out that I got on. So then when I didn't get on, I had to wait because Corona, and you know what I mean. So I kind of wasn't planning on waiting this long. It just happened. Like I've been training and everything. Like other than Corona, uh, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out. Other than that, I've been ready to go.
So they told you after like that missed Ultimate Fighter opportunity that hey, we're gonna find the spot for you. Just wait. No, no, you didn't know.
No, my manager. I got a good manager, Jason
Mm,
House.
of course.
At Iridium Sports. So I mean, those kind of was his words.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, stay motivated. We'll find you. You know what I mean? But as far as the UFC, they just wish me well, basically. They wanted me on the show. They were sad that I wasn't on the show, but everything, it was literally a week from starting, so they had to focus on that.
All right, all right. Now, I wanted to rewind a little bit to when you turned pro in the summer of 2019. How did you know it was time for you to turn pro, and how did you make that decision?
Uh, well, I did. By the time I turned pro, I was 26, 27. You know what I mean? So I did 5 years of college wrestling. I was 6-0 at amateur upper weight, so at 145, and that amateur was 2016 to 2019. You know what I mean? So 5 years of college wrestling plus 3 years of amateur experience, fighting tough guys. I actually wanted to go pro sooner when I was like 4-0 amateur because it was kind of hard getting fights with my wrestling background at the amateur level. So everybody I fought was I had to go 145 first off. I
Yeah.
couldn't go 135. Nobody would fight me at there. So everybody at 145, they thought they would take the fights. You know what I mean? In Ohio, right when I started fighting, it was like 5 fights you can go pro. Like once I hit like my fourth fight, they switched it to 9.
Oh.
So if it took me fucking 2.5 years to get 4 fights,
Yeah.
like how long you think it's gonna take to get 9? You
Mm,
know what I mean?
yeah.
So I end up fighting we had to like appeal to go pro sooner than that or something like that. So I ended up fighting Yohi Rojas, who was 8-0 amateur at 45. So they basically was like, if you can get past him, then and that's what happened.
All right. Well, I guess that I was looking at your record, and you mentioned that you did fight at featherweight as an amateur, and then when you turned pro, you switched or you dropped down to bantamweight. So if you could have got the fights, you would have been fighting at bantamweight your whole amateur career then.
If I could have got the
Hmm.
fights, I would have tried.
Okay.
I would have tried. I would have fought. I know for a fact I would have fought a couple at 45. Just same day weigh-ins based on feeling good. I'd rather feel good than you know what I mean. Be a bigger bully. You
So
know what I
when
mean?
when they would try to set up fights for you at the amateur ranks, people just look you up and they see the wrestling and they'll be like, oh no, no, I don't wanna
Yeah,
date like
especially
that.
like in Ohio. So Ohio is good in wrestling. So they pretty much knew me from wrestling or somebody they trained with. You know what I mean? Like, so it was kind of hard. And so I already knew 135 was out of the question if I wanted to get fights quick. So 45, I fought some bigger guys, but I think they gave me a lot of good experience.
You haven't lost a fight. Which fight was your toughest, man? Which fight did you have to overcome the most adversity, you think?
Uh, I don't know. I think they are pretty. I've been having a good career. I'll say that. Like I'm
Okay.
not sure which one. I've been having good fights. So I really it's hard to say adversary because I feel like I control most of my fights.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? There were times when I was in danger, but it was like end of the round or you know what I mean, something like end of the fight or but it's hard to say it's hard to answer that question which fight. I guess Mondo,
Hmm.
I think he caught me in the deepest submission with time left. So if you want to say that, but so I'll say Mondo.
When you look at the record, Mondo, he sticks out. That name sticks out because a lot of people had, they were high on Mondo. Even they're still high on him. He'll
Yeah,
eventually
yeah,
make it to the UFC. But yeah, that's the win. I feel like everybody's gonna look at, and most likely they're gonna look at when they see you on the Contender Series ahead of time to check you out. Is there any other fights that someone should look at just to get a preview of what you can do?
a preview of what I can do. I don't know. You can watch. Not many of my fights are online, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but the Yohi Rojas one, that's online when I fought for the amateur belt. I think that'll be a good test because he also was a college wrestler. Uh, and my last fight, so they
Okay.
can watch the slams.
All right. All right. Now, after your third straight win as a professional in February 2020, COVID hit pretty hard. Like immediately after that, how did the pandemic affect your life?
Um, I think it slowed. I, it didn't really affect me MMA wise because I kept training, and I knew for some reason I knew that most people weren't training or trying to figure out life at this time. You know what I mean? I still had a spot with a couple good athletes that I can train with, and I trained all the way through. And then around June, uh, I was offered to be the B side for LFA
Mm-hmm.
against I forget who was it against, but it was short notice, like a week, and we said yeah, because I knew I was ready. You know what I mean? And I knew not many people were ready,
Yeah.
so we said yeah, and whoever that was said no. They weren't looking for they weren't looking for an opponent like me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I missed out on that opportunity, but LFA said that they would keep me in mind. And July came, and then they offered me like five opponents, and like four of them was like undefeated. So like Yeah, they all the same level to me. You know what I mean? So we just said yeah. Yeah, all of them said no except Mondo. So, and I thought Mondo was the toughest on the list,
Yeah.
or one of the toughest, just based off his grappling matchup wise. You know what I mean? So I felt like he was one of the toughest, and then that's the one I got matched up with. So that's how that went, and then I
Yeah.
beat him, and then
Yeah.
the ball got rolling.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, your team, Strong Style. Talk about how you ended up with that team.
Well, so I went to Notre Dame College in
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland, Ohio. Strong Style is in Independence, Ohio, with 10 minutes away. And my first two amateur fights I kind of did on my own. So after college, I trained with friends at local gyms. I just bounced gym to gym. I was started off doing like a boxing only gym, jujitsu only gym because I wanted to learn like the base instead of like going to an MMA gym where they just pieces, pieces, pieces. You know what I mean? Like if I feel like if you learned the basis, uh, you'll be more successful. And I learned that from wrestling. Like a lot of people in MMA, like it's not enough time at an MMA gym for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So to learn each aspect, you just piecing it together. So I wanted to get a good foundation going to those gyms, but I didn't have like the consistent partners. So, but I was good enough to go 2-0 amateur, and then I knew I was doing well. I finished both of those guys, but I knew to get to the higher level, I needed to be around solid people or people who've been there before. So I had Kobe Fair and Jeffrey Pelton, two fighters. They were at Strong Style at the time. I wrestled with them at Notre Dame College. So they were there. Me and Jeffrey actually fought on the same card my second amateur fight, and the Strong Style coaches were there. So he kind of put in a word. They invited me to come to a sparring session. That didn't go well because I was just like pretty much a wrestler. And then when I went, it was like only stand up day. So that didn't go well. But they definitely seen like I had potential. So that's pretty much how I got there.
Are those guys that took you to the gym still with you now, training with you?
No,
No.
no. They both went to Vegas. So Kobe is Jeffrey took a little time off. He just had a baby.
Mm,
Uh, Kobe is actually at Extreme Couture.
okay.
So he's doing really well, about to make his pro debut. He just needed to be out of Ohio.
Alright.
He still got love for the gym and the coaches and him still
Yeah.
talk. So he just needed to be. One day you'll interview him and you'll see what what I mean.
All right, definitely. I'll go seek him. Um, any other spots that you train at, and who are your closest training partners at Strong Style?
Strong Style. We got a pretty small team.
Mm,
So I would say 25 fighters. You know
mm,
what I mean? Uh, Brandon Burr has helped me a lot. He's a flyweight. Uh, Ben Wilford, Josh Roller, Izzy William, uh, couple young guys closer to my weight, but the guys I named, those are all the pros closer to my weight that I go with pretty much every day.
So they've been with you for the last few years, just grinding away. Just
Yeah, and
we'll
I
see. We'll
bring
get to
in
see all of those guys then.
yeah, you'll see all of those guys. So I also like bring in different boxers or whatever during camp. I just don't feel like naming everybody,
Yeah.
but when opponent specifics, we'll bring in what we need if we
Okay,
don't already have it.
for sure. Now, Contender Series, your opponent is Brandon Lewis. He's also an undefeated fighter. What is your breakdown of him and this matchup?
I think he a tough fighter. I think he's a forward fighter. Like he comes forward a lot. Combos. Uh, I just think he a tough fighter. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think all my fights have been tough fighters. You know what I mean? So I don't see nothing really different. I don't see nothing that stands out. I think he's good everywhere or decent everywhere. I think I'm the better fighter,
Mhm.
but I think he can be a dangerous fighter. So I just got to be on my P's and Q's and do what I do. Just let him know I'm here for the contract. Don't back down from him. I think a lot of his opponents uh, back down from him or back up. And I think when he signed the contract, he know I'm not one of them, or he should know. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know what he thinking, but I'm definitely respecting him and as a tough opponent. But we both can't be 6-0. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. And balancing the confidence with the respect for your opponent. Man, how do you do that?
'Cause I took a lot of L's in my life,
Mm,
wrestling, taekwondo, any combat. I've been doing this for a long time, so I know that individual sports anybody can lose.
mm,
You know what I mean? I've been in seasons where I won 20 plus matches, number one in the country, and don't even All American. You know what I mean? Or place at the national tournament, and I was on a high horse, and you know what I mean. So those situations before MMA helps me, and I'm very thankful for that because it's the same. You know what I mean? Just because I'm 5-0 or he's 5-0, I may never face nobody like him,
mm.
and he may never face nobody like me. So like I can't just overlook him, but I also know that if you don't believe in yourself, don't even don't even do this type of sport. You know what I mean? Like you kind of got to be your number one fan, and that's most show.
Mhm.
That kind of means that you know what I mean. So like every time I get in an arena or a cage or whatever, most show is to help remind me that this the most show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is only about me. You know what I mean? So I think once I lose the respect for my opponent, that's when I can lose, or that's when something can happen. So I always, if I know he's a dangerous opponent, or if I put him on that pedestal and he's not as dangerous as I thought, then good for me. You know what I mean? But if I do it the other way around, then it can get bad. So I think wrestling and taekwondo and just winning and then losing and at the wrong times and all that stuff, I think that's what's helping me for MMA.
So, what can we expect out of you in this upcoming fight for the contract?
A W. That's what you can expect. I just think I'm gonna be turned up, ready to go. I'm chill right now. I think he's an opponent who will make me get up for this fight. You know, I love undefeated. I'm not sure if he fought undefeated people in his life or whatever martial arts he come from. But I've been doing this since wrestling, taekwondo. Like I love undefeated matchups. You know what I mean? I think it's a privilege to be here. You know what I mean? A privilege to be uh, undefeated and facing another undefeated fighter. So I think it'll be a tough fight, but I think I'll get the dub because I got to. So I don't know. I think it'll be an exciting fight.
Definitely going to be an exciting fight. Everybody needs to tune in September 14th, Dana White's Contender Series, Las Vegas.